This book, the Nazis are looking for it.
Yeah, I know, but business isn't doing great, Amos.
My, oh my. The girl came to the shop and...
It's the book.
Yes.
Spoiler warning. The new magical book ending isn't just shocking, it's a lie. Buckle up, because this breakdown will rewrite everything you thought you knew. The story takes place during World War II. A man named Benjamin, fleeing from Japanese soldiers, arrives at a house near Jindal. Desperate for help, he pleads with the man living there, who, having already spotted the pursuing soldiers, decides to hide Benjamin inside his home. When the soldiers arrive and question the family, they deny harboring anyone, successfully keeping Benjamin's presence a secret for the time being. Although the soldiers are suspicious and search the house, they find nothing and leave. Once they're gone, Benjamin emerges from his hiding spot under a sofa and reveals that he is a scientist. He had previously worked with the Japanese army, but fled upon discovering a plan involving a highly dangerous weapon that Japan intended to use in the war. In his possession is a mysterious book that he doesn't discuss in detail. He asks the family for refuge for a few more days, and they agreed that a few days later, the Japanese soldiers return. Seeing them from afar, the man tells his wife to hide Benjamin again, this time in their daughter's room. A Japanese colonel arrives and begins a psychological investigation, declaring himself to be as perceptive as a lie detector. To intimidate the family, he plays cards with the daughter and uses the game as a metaphor to suggest he knows when someone is lying. As the colonel prepares to leave, he hears a noise from the roof. It turns out Benjamin accidentally kicked a showpiece while hiding, giving away his position. The colonel finds him and shoots him dead. The family's lie is exposed, and in a fit of rage, the colonel kills both the husband and wife. As he turns his gun on the daughter, she escapes but is shot from a distance. Injured, she seeks refuge in a nearby toy shop run by an old toy maker who agrees to help her before her death. The girl hands Benjamin's book to the toy maker, urging him to keep it away from the Japanese. After she dies, the toy maker buries her body in secret. The next morning, he's back at his shop, speaking to his handmade dolls, which he treats like his own children. Due to the war, however, his dolls are no longer in demand. A girl named Abigail works at the shop and urges him to let her go since he hasn't paid her in a long time. The toy maker convinces her to stay a little longer. That night, he opens Benjamin's book and, instead of a bomb formula, discovers magical spells. One spell appears to bring inanimate objects to life. He tests it on a doll named Rupert, and to his astonishment, the doll comes to life that excited. He shares this with Abigail the next day, but she thinks he merely had a strange dream. Meanwhile, the colonel receives reports that the girl hasn't been found and issues a village-wide announcement. Anyone providing information about the girl will receive $20,000, a substantial amount at the time. One day, while reading, Abigail is startled when Rupert the doll appears before her. She panics and nearly attacks him, but the toy maker intervenes. Rupert, it turns out, has been listening all along. The toy maker admits to Abigail that he got the book from the injured girl who later died. Although he does not initially reveal her death, Abigail questions Rupert's attack, and the toy maker speculates that perhaps the doll reacts to his emotions. He had been angry when Abigail mentioned quitting her job. Though disturbed, Abigail confirms her decision to leave. She's saddened, but remembers she has access to the same magical book and uses it to revive two dolls of her own. Meanwhile, the colonel hears that Abigail might have information. He summons her, and she tells him the same story the toy maker told her, including the part about receiving the book from the injured girl. However, instead of rewarding her, the colonel kills her. Now the Japanese soldiers arrive at the toy maker's house. They render him unconscious and plan to burn down the shop. One soldier remains behind to set the place on fire, but is struck unconscious by Rupert. The revived doll then decides to rescue the toy maker and heads to the headquarters with the other two dolls. At the base, the colonel tortures the toy maker for information. The toy maker remains silent until the colonel threatens to break his leg, prompting him to finally confess. He tells the colonel that the book was given to him by an injured girl and that it was not about bombs but about magic. The book, written by a man named Yusuf, contains spells that can grant immortality and revive the dead. The Toymaker refrains from mentioning that he has already used the spells. Meanwhile, the dolls arrive at the headquarters. A soldier who spots them is swiftly killed by one of the dolls. Another doll sneaks into the room where a major is seated. The major panics and shoots at the doll, but to no avail, she slits his throat. The dolls then reach the interrogation room, just as the colonel is about to kill the Toymaker. Rupert attacks the colonel, injuring his legs. Terrified, the colonel begs Rupert to end his life, and Rupert obliges. The Toymaker, although gravely injured, is overjoyed that his dolls have come to save him. Before dying, he tells them to always stay together. The dolls mourn his death. One of them, Isabel, then gets an idea. She reads from the magical book and recites the revival spell, bringing the Toymaker back to life. Upon waking, the Toymaker laughs strangely, and the dolls are overjoyed. In the final scene, the Toymaker is seen walking away with the 3 dolls in a suitcase. The sinister smile on his face suggests that his intentions are no longer pure. And with that, the story ends. Think you could survive the new magical book world? Tag a friend who'd fail miserably. Don't forget to subscribe, unless you're scared of the truth. Thanks for watching.